I've been keeping track of this Young Thug case, and it's fascinating. I mean, in case you don't know, Young Thug is a rapper. He's not just like a Fox News placeholder. Like that. Oh, he's a rapper. He's a young man that does the raps, and he's on trial right now in Fulton County, Georgia, in connection with about 50 shootings in Georgia and one murder. Which means, if nothing else, he is guilty of missing a lot.
How do you have 49 unsuccessful shoot? He's not even racking up bystanders, by the way. Are you just shooting in the air? At 30 failed shootings, drop the gun, pick up a knife. It is much harder to miss. It's weird. I wonder what it's like in that car. I wonder what the pep talk is like. Y'all, listen. Focus up. When we see him, do not ask if that's him. It's making everybody second guess. You making him speed up. You making him not shoot. Just be quiet. Let's see if we can do this. And they missed 30 more times. I know that's not how it goes, but it's fun to imagine. It's also crazy because this man's name is Young Thug. The last place you want to be named Young Thug is court. That's absolutely insane. For a system that loves locking up young black men to show up named Young Thug, you might as well be called Little I Did It. That's Young Thug. All right. Just blew my mind. But the person that's most fascinating to me is his lawyer. His lawyer is white, and he's like white. Yeah, he's like, you know that white where it's like somebody bleached a soul or something. Like you hit different levels of white we haven't seen before. He's the whitest person I've ever seen on camera. And his entire defense is fascinating because his defense of Young Thug is just say what Young Thug is accused of doing in his white voice, which does make it sound implausible. Because then he's like, Your Honor, Your Honor, my client has never busted a zip down. It's like, you know what? Now that you say it does sound ridiculous. Like, now that I hear it like that, it doesn't even sound like anybody does that. That's true. You should free this young man. I don't think I've ever heard of any. You know, this young man would never let the blicker spray. It's like, I don't even think that's real. You're right. No. And there's also the word thug. Word thug is one of the slurriest words we have that's not a slur. Like, it's not actually a slur, but it's loaded. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you copped a slur back. You know? And he's named Young Thug. He's in court. Webster defines thug as a brutal or violent criminal, right? Synonymous with hooligan or troublemaker. His lawyer had a different definition. His lawyer stood in front of the judge and said, Your Honor, thug simply means truly humble under God. Honestly, bars, all right? Like, no matter what happens with the case, you need to get this man in the booth, okay? See what else he's cooking up. Fascinating. I can't see that well. Like, I don't have the best eyes. And so I had to go to optometrist, and we gotta mix up the test a little bit. This is archaic stuff we doing right now is not okay. Like, I get you have to just, in life you have to read, so I get having the reading be part of the test and stuff. But then when you get to the smaller letters, they're trying to trick you anyway. They're like, is it a 3 or an E? It's like, don't play with me right now. This is my future we're talking about. You know, I just wish that the test was more dynamic. Like, yes, I'll read the stuff on the wall, but also, you're an eye doctor. Come up with some new ideas. Just look at me in your office and go, if I don't flinch,
clearly I can't see. You know what I mean? Just buck up at me real quick. If I don't move, I clearly need glasses. But she's an eye doctor. My eye doctor, she's an eye doctor, so you would think that being an eye doctor, you've seen people with worse eyes than me. I'm not legally blind or anything. But then I got done with the test, and she was trying to break the fact that I needed glasses to me like it was bad news or something. She was like, first of all, what is that? You know what I mean? That's for Lifetime movies. They're like that. It's so weird. So she's like, I'm surprised you can see me. I was like, that's probably the most unprofessional diagnosis I've ever gotten. And so I need glasses because I can't do contacts. I can't do it. I cannot do I cannot touch my own eye. Like, I will pass out if I have to touch I'm not a strong man. I will throw up if I have to touch my own eye. And my friends with contacts are like, it's not that bad. You get used to it. It's like, if you get used to it, then why do all my friends that wear contacts can't seem to put them in without their mouth open? Everybody I know that wear contacts, every time be going, you want to get something to eat or what? Don't act like that's normal. Everybody. Nobody has a sexy contact technique. I've never seen someone be like, and now I see it. It's always like, God, I can't do it. I'm weak of spirit. I cannot do it. So I need glasses. And then I go to the optometrist, I don't know anything. So then I'm about to get my glasses from the optometrist. I didn't know that was a huge mark. I didn't know that was like the bottle service of glasses. It's like unnecessarily expensive to get them from the optometrist. So then I'm at the optometrist, and then she sends me out of her office to pick out some glasses. Now they got frames on frames on frames and cases and everything. They got the roller thing with the frames and everything. And so I'm looking at that. Now, I don't know much about fashion, and I don't know anything about glasses, so I need help. My doctor, busy doctoring, all right? And then the receptionist is typing. She's not helpful. So then they send this woman over to me. I don't know what she does. I think she's like an eye nurse or whatever, but she like was not busy at all. And then she comes over to help me pick out glasses. And instead of just helping me pick out glasses, instead of telling me what glasses look good on me and don't look good on me, she just started telling me what my head looked like. And that is not helpful at all. You just give me something to think about when I go home. This is terrible. So then she's like, you got kind of a Franklin, you got kind of a turtle thing going on. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep you away from the big frames. You're gonna look like Franklin. And I was like, I haven't tried a pair on yet, so now I'm more self-conscious than I was stepping in. And then this is what really bothered me. So then I was sitting waiting to see the doctor. There was a woman, middle-aged about, sitting next to me. So she clearly a patient, right? So then she starts chiming in. She starts telling me what looks good and don't look good. And I'm like, can you see though? Because you clearly waiting to see the doctor as well. Don't act like I'm... And instead of telling me what looked good or did not look good, they just told me every pair of glasses what black nerd from TVI looked like. Like, it was the most offensive. She's like, that's a little too herbal for you right now. It's like, oh, you look like Norbit. It's like, nobody was talking to you, ma'am. You can't see. I don't know. This is not helpful at all. And I don't think we give enough credit to people with bad eyes. You know? It's people like me that make the world interesting. It is. You look at any ancient civilization, it's people like me are the reason we have mythology. Yo, I was in the woods. And I saw a half man, half horse. I think it's called a centaur. It's like, nah, it's not what you saw at all. That did not happen, I guarantee you. You saw a nigga on a horse. And your brain could not compute. You just said, half man, half horse, my eyes are never wrong. But to his credit, we did write it down and repeat it for hundreds of years. Yo, you'll never believe it. I saw a mermaid. It's a beautiful woman, half fish, and she did the like thing, and then she went down. She's gone now, but I swear I just saw her. No, you didn't. A bitch was drowning. And you didn't help.
That's what happened. Apparently that is apparently how the origin of the mermaid came about. It's like someone in the distance on a boat saw a sea cow really far away and thought it was like a woman, but also a fish. Which means even back then, with his bad eyes, he was like, all right, she thick, I like that. All right, come swim to daddy. I can tell I'm getting older because I finally care about ingredients. You're like, well, you young, you be eating Taco Bell off the floor and stuff. But now I'm like, how much dairy is in there? Because I have places to be tonight. I'm not half as bad as my uncle, though. My uncle found out, he's not even allergic. He just has a slight intolerance for xanthan gum. Right? If you don't know what xanthan gum is, that's fine. It's like a bonding agent. It's in a lot of candies and stuff. The point is, he will go to a restaurant with me and then ask the server if every item has xanthan gum in it, which is absolutely insane to watch. He'll be like, no. Nah, there ain't no xanthan gum in that broccoli, is it? Like, there's one ingredient in the broccoli, sir. And it's broccoli, you don't need to worry. There ain't no xanthan gum in this corn. Why would there be xanthan gum in just a side of corn? Just skip the sides. No, this fried chicken steak, it ain't got no xanthan gum in it. And he's always giving way too much information to the server. He's like, cause you see, like that corn will get up in my guts and don't leave. It's like, you are ruining her day. Just please order something. And you're like, you sure ain't no xanthan gum to chicken fried chicken? I was like, just order it or don't. Please. Like, you know the veins you get when you're trying to yell at a family member without yelling? You know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, but like, you're trying to stress like, shut up. You know? And so he ordered the chicken fried chicken steak. And it turns out there was xanthan gum in the chicken fried, which nobody could have known. That's not fair at all. I was rushing him, that's my bad. He was in the bathroom cursing me out. It's like, I got them bad guts, boy. This 70-year-old woman I saw in the news in Uganda that gave birth to twins. 7 years old, gave birth to twins. One of the oldest people on record to give birth to twins. And everyone that I worked with had their opinions about it and everything. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I'll never have to have a kid myself, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But it does seem like 70 is the perfect age to have twins. Y'all on the same sleep schedule. Y'all eat all the same foods. You both gotta be careful about falling. It's just, y'all vibing out. I don't know, whenever Tupac was murdered, it really was like Black Elvis. Like, we couldn't accept it. We were like, no, he went to Cuba because they was looking for him. Not likely, all right. But we never did that with Biggie. You notice that? Tupac and Biggie got shot within months of each other. And Tupac were like, no, he gonna come back one day. And Biggie, we were like, yeah, that checks out. That's wild. I can't help but think it's because Biggie was heavy. I think deep down we know if it wasn't the bullets, it would have been butter. You know what I mean? Biggie was not long for this. It was gonna be the streets or the kitchen. One of them was coming for Biggie. I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, before the pandemic, they were talking about putting Harriet Tubman on the 20 or something. I don't even remember what bill it was. And it was like, everyone had an opinion immediately. There were people who thought it was great. There were people who didn't care, a little bit, and then it turned out they cared. And then there were people that were like, no, we can't have this happen. And then Mnuchin said he'd block it, and he did. So it never happened. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I need Harriet on the 20. What bothers me the most is how has Harriet Tubman not had her own sneaker yet? Like, that seems
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Who is more deserving of a sneaker deal throughout all the history of America than Harriet Tubman? Come on. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, she was the LeBron of escaped slaves, okay? She was putting up numbers. She got a lot of other people to freedom. Buckets. That would have been a motherfucker to be a slave owner while Harriet was around. You come outside, ain't nobody there. You're like, the commercial writes itself. It does. You know, I just beat the Golden State Warriors in my new Adidas Maxes. And it's like, oh, I ran to freedom. How about that? How do you beat that shoe? You don't. I do wonder, and this is a genuine question. I'm being sincere. This isn't like, I'm not gonna make fun of you or anything. Does anyone here believe in aliens? Okay, so this is my thing. I believed in aliens so hard when I was little. Like when I was a little kid, I was like, it's just us in the whole universe? Come on, really? Just us? A whole universe? That seems wild, right? And then as I get older, it's becoming harder for me to believe in aliens. Because especially after everything up until 2023, it's hard to believe in aliens because Trump didn't mention it while he was president. Like that man told every secret. Anything they told him, he told us in an hour. Like, they would be in the room with this man and be like, you're not gonna tell anybody, right? And he's like, no. And then he leaves and he's like, folks, like that was, he could not keep a secret at all. He had the leakiest White House of all time. And he never mentioned aliens, so now I'm like, maybe not. I don't know what to tell you. It's a tough one. For the people who believe in aliens, once again, I'm being sincere, I wonder if aliens haven't made broad daylight obvious contact with us because they think we're boring or because they've seen how we treat each other. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was an alien above Earth looking down all this time, I'd be like, oof, they don't even like when you have different skin. And I got 3 dicks, so they gonna kill me immediately, just out of jealousy if nothing else. God damn, might as well stay up here where it's safe. Ooh. I feel this is a weird thing. I respect that people have to be like choosy when they're dating, and sometimes you have to make choices based off, like you get a little inkling of a thing and you call it a red flag, or because you're like, I know how it's gonna go after that. And sometimes people are overly harsh about that, but it's necessary, you know? Like I think about my friend, I went to a club with my buddy and he had a full like almost rom-com experience. He saw this woman across the club, truly across the club. He was like, the light was just shining on her a little extra, you know? So then my man made his way over, and it was almost like the dance floor was parting as he was walking over to her. And then he gets up to her, he lays his thickest game on that he has. He's like, hey, how you doing? You know, mind if I buy you a drink or something? And she turns around and looks him up and down and goes, no. Nah, that's not what we doing. And he tries one more time. He's like, why can't I buy you a drink? Get to know you. We might like each other. And she looks him up and down again and she goes, your shoes. Which I know, that sounds super vapid. That's wild. It sounds really materialistic, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm on her side. Because when he looked down, both his shoes were untied. And it's like, yeah, bro, how did you? There's no better way to walk up to a woman and be like, you have to take care of me eventually, than to have both your shoes untied when you approach the conversation. How how'd you even make it over without tripping? It's crazy. Dude, one shoe could happen to anybody. Both shoes hasn't happened since the 3rd grade, all right? If you approach a woman with both your shoes untied, you might as well walk up with a glass of milk in one hand and a cookie in the other. Talking about, you want to be friends? Because that's what the fuck you look like with both your shoes untied. It's insane. I was watching a movie this week. Have you heard of Downfall? Anybody? Okay. It's a German movie, and it's about the last 10, 12 days of like Hitler and the Third Reich. It was like when they were losing the war, and it's from the account of the secretary that was in the bunker, of just like, you know, Hitler was freaking out and everything. And it got me to thinking, like, how do you contend with the idea that there's a higher power while watching all of the horrible stuff that happened around the world in World War II? It's like the worst atrocities against humanity happen, but also there's supposed to be this higher power that's fully in control and everything. And people talk about if they could go back in time, they'd kill baby Hitler and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, yeah. But if I was God, I think I would have just given Hitler a real high voice. Ain't nobody following him then. If that dude rock up and be like, listen to me. There's something happening in the fatherland that must be stopped. I don't even think you let that dude work fast food. You'd be like, nah, that voice too annoying. He's like, listen to me about the Jews. It's like, no, we caught you. I'll be vulnerable for a second. I thought I had it all figured out, you know. I was sexting. And sexting's a very precarious situation. You want to make sure you're sexting at the right time, you know? Because if it's like 8 o'clock, you still got other people texting you, you know? You don't want to accidentally send a text that's incoming to somebody because you opened the thing, you know what I mean? And it's also like, what if you're not that skilled? Like, what if I'm not good texting with just my left hand? Now you texting typos and stuff. It's knocking the sexy right out of your sexting. You know, it's like, I'm gonna fud your bass. It's like, nobody's into it now. You know? So I had an idea. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And I didn't talk to anybody about it. I had never heard anybody doing this, but in my mind, it was the best thing to do. I was like, I'm just gonna speak to text. So that way, I don't gotta worry about the other hand and everything, and I can just like get in the zone and stuff. I don't have to worry about other people texting me and everything. And it went horribly wrong. Because I wasn't at home. I was at my childhood home. So I was in my room, but it wasn't my house, you know? And it was, 9 o'clock or so, and we were sexted that, look, I'll read you the thing right now. This is what. Okay, all right. So, she's like, oh, okay, and what would you do if you were here right now? And then I was like, girl, I would tear those clothes off, and Mom, what are you doing in here? Mom, I had the door closed. You can't just open the door. I was just coming to see if you wanted dinner. No, I'm okay. Mom, get out right now. Boy, how you gonna tell me to get out somewhere in my house? sorry, Mom, please, can you please leave and close the door? You know we don't have closed doors in this house. Which is true. That's a very like black family thing of like you not closing the door in my house. What you up to in there? And I was like, Mama, please leave. Please, please leave. And she was like, all right, what's the big deal? I was like, nothing, Mom. Just please, please get out of here. So anyway, girl, I would say... All right, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.